Hello, everybody. My presentation is titled Gendering the Smart City, a case study of a women-friendly district in smart city, Sejong. My name is Jean Chang, and here you can see the rest of my team members. The content is overview, scope, and methodology, case studies, survey, and discussions. Why do we need a smart city? It's that by 2050, the urban world population is projected to reach about 70% of total population. And if you look at this map, you can see that the population, the more rural it is blue, and the more urban it is brown. And the closer it gets to 2030, the world is turning mostly brown. So it's getting mostly urbanized. What is a smart city? Korea has a smart city definition in which it's, in a nutshell, solving urban problems such as traffic congestion, disaster, crime by using ICT to maximize city efficiency. So if you look at this picture, you can see that there are urban problems due to increased urbanization, such as high land prices, excessive density, and urban stagnation. But instead of building more and more new infrastructure, if we use the Internet of Things, which is also called IoT, we can use sensors embedded in this traditional infrastructure to see how they can be used more efficiently, and the city becomes a platform in which information is collected at one site. And so that through smart cities, the goal is to create a more sustainable, self-sufficient city. But smart cities are getting more and more important, but we have to look at the smart city through gender perspective. If you look at the graph, the natural science, engineering, medical science, and humanities, the participation of women can be seen, and especially in engineering, which is in red, one can see that only about 10% of all people in this field are women. And this is the Korean situation, and we can see it reflected in the US situation. And you may see that the computer science has the least number of women. And with even this new infrastructure, integrated information center where all the information is collected, the stereotype of male and female may be reflected in these as well, in which the male occupy technical and permanent positions in running the center, and the females are temporary in monitoring the screens. My case study is situated in Sejong City, which is the administrative capital of Korea. It is a new city. And in February 2019, Korea's national government designated Sejong to be the first smart city in the world to be managed by AI. And you can look at all these smart infrastructure and fields, and we are going to do the smart safety, talk about the smart safety. There's tons of literature concerning science and technology, smart cities, but if you look at smart city and gender perspective, there's very little. So this research puts a gendered perspective and looking at the smart city. Gender and safety. Women in comparison to male feel greater fear and anxiety in urban spaces. And so problems related to safety restrict women's use of urban space. And so we have to acknowledge that there's a difference between men and women in their everyday routines and lifestyles and use of space. And we have to be careful that the smart city is gender neutral or equally accessible to both genders. The smart city solution enabled more efficient use of existing infrastructure, and these are integrated in city solutions in safety devices, in which, if you look at the red diagram, the sensors within this lighting pole, it sends information to the integrated information center and then to police or wherever it may be necessary. Scope and methodology, this is the location. It's, as I said, Sejong is in this middle of Korea, and District 2-2 is in the middle of Sejong, and this is the study site. I'm using literature survey, field observation, and questionnaire survey of residents. I also did some expert interviews. And this is the location of the women-friendly district. And it has guidelines emphasizing safety, accessibility, convenience, and comfort. And they're ruled by 5 principles developed by Professor Ri of University of Seoul in 2012, in which it emphasizes low floors, mixed use, natural surveillance, overlapping, and concentration of activities. And this is the physical environment in which visibility emphasized. And if you look at the picture, there is this safety zone in which CCTVs are at very close distances compared to other streets, and lighting poles are also much closer together, providing much greater visibility. And these are the physical environments in which about which I'm not going to get into detail. And this is the emergency bell. So if you feel you're in danger, you press it and you're connected to the integrated information center and can talk to a person. And this is the monitoring, and you can see the safety map as well. We conducted the survey, and 100 respondents answered questions about perception of women-friendly district, perception of smart city, daily walking pattern, perception of safety, and characteristics of respondents. And we found that there was a higher level of awareness of women-friendly district and smart, safe street among women compared to men. If you look at the table, we can see male and female. There are double more female, twice as many female than male being aware of the women-friendly district and aware of the smart, safe street. Another finding was that greater priority on safety was given to women by women than compared to men, and especially alarm bells, which are more interactive, are much more considered important. And we found that there is really minimal difference in the walking frequency or time of walk according to gender, which it contradicts the usual literature about fear of crime. And another finding is that District 2-2 is considered safer than other neighborhoods by all residents. So if we summarize, we can see that urban planning and smart safety installations appear to be successful. There is really not much difference between gender, which shows that it is a safe walking environment for both men and women. And women prefer enhanced crime solutions, more emergency bells than CCTVs. So policy implications are that women need more active safety systems than passive surveillance, and greater integration of smart policy and women-friendly policy is required, as the 2 ministries responsible for each do not interact much. Further studies need to pinpoint the specific factors influencing the differences between genders, and this study is limited in the scope as it only considers District 2-2. Thank you for your attention.